Hello and welcome back to ECS Coffee. My name is Rebecca and today we are going to be taking a look at the new Breville Oracle Jet. This is a brand new launch and release from Breville, and I'm so excited to go through it with you guys. I've used this machine only a handful of times, so some of this stuff might be a first time for me as well as you. But first, let's have a look at what this machine is, what it does, and some of the upgrades and updates that have been put into it in comparison to some of the other machines from Breville. So first off, this is going to have a 58mm portafilter. We'll start with this. So most of the Breville machines are going to have the 54mm portafilter, except for their dual boiler series. This is not a dual boiler. This is a thermojet heating system, or a thermoblock heating system. It actually has two thermojets in it. So it has one main one for the water to heat up, but the second one is actually placed just by the group head so that the group head stays heated and you get a better extraction of your coffee as well. This is going to have automatic dosing, tamping, everything like that. You'll be able to set your grind size just like every other Breville with the integrated grinder. So you'll actually see on the side here as well that you're going to have larger dots for coarser and finer dots for finer. So the finer the grind size, the slower that the espresso will pour. You will have a 340 gram integrated bean hopper for the grinder. And the grinder will have the Baratza M2 burrs inside it as well. So that's a new update that Breville has done to some of their machines with the grinders on board. Let's have a look at the screen. This is one of the bigger updates that they did in this machine, and I'm personally really loving it. So you'll notice it's a really high resolution. We have ours in dark mode here, but you can toggle between dark mode and light mode. So if you wanted to have a brighter screen, then you could do that. But we're on dark mode here, so the back of the screen is going to be black. I think that it looks really clean and sharp. We have a bunch of programmed beverages on here, and the response time is also really fantastic. It's a very high resolution screen. And you'll notice that we have some new drinks in here, which we will go through together. So we'll talk about the beverage menu in a little bit, and we're going to brew a few of those beverages as well. Just like in all of our videos, we'll be making some coffee for sure. The reservoir, you can load the reservoir from the top, which is very similar to how you would load the reservoir or fill the reservoir in the Breville Oracle Touch. Just lift this up at the top, and you can see how full it is with the little window on the front of the machine. We also notice that the machine is beautifully illuminated around the drip tray because you actually have two lights just up here on the top of the machine. You can dim those or completely turn them off. I think that it adds a really nice ambiance to the machine and makes it feel really elevated. It's really, really sophisticated. So the water reservoir is also removable from the back, or it's only removable from the back. And they also installed this mesh grate so that debris and other things don't fall into the reservoir and damage your machine potentially, which is very nice. It's about a 2-liter water reservoir as well, so a really decent size and pretty standard in automatic espresso and semi-automatic espresso machines as well. The steaming wand, we have an automatic frothing wand or steaming wand that has the sensor on the bottom of the wand, just like it did on the Oracle or the Oracle Touch from Breville. So this is going to read the temperature very precisely. It is a little bit of a different design, whereas the other ones had a bit of an angle to them. This one is straight out. In the upright position, it will allow you to do some manual milk steaming as well if you wanted to try your hand at doing a little bit of latte art. All right, so this machine is coming in at a little bit of a higher price point than some of the other Breville machines right now, but it is less expensive than the Oracle Touch. So it's actually coming in at around $3,000 Canadian, regular retail price. Right now it's available in just the stainless steel, anticipating probably to come out in some of the luxe colors as well, which would be super fun. But right now, just stainless steel, around the $3,000 price point, and it will have a 2-year warranty from Breville as well, at least in Canada. Well, we are going to make some beverages, go through the beverage menu together, and drink some coffee. Yeah. So to start, we're going to make a latte on the machine using the automatic frothing wand and using regular milk. So we're gonna get going. First step is to select the latte from your beverage menu here. But while we have this up, let's have a look at what beverages are pre-programmed in this machine. So we have espresso, Americano, latte, cappuccino, cold brew, which is new, and there's some cool technology going on in there. We'll make one together. Flat white. Now, this is where we start to kind of get into some interesting beverages and recipes, and you'll see why. We have cold espresso, which is great, but now we're into some beverages like espresso martini. It says espresso shakerado, latte shakerado, and now obviously this machine can't make an espresso martini, but click on espresso martini, it's going to give you a little recipe guide on the side here for other ingredients and ratios that you need to make the beverage, which is very fun and very cool. A really, really neat feature to have in the machine because people are always wanting to make different kinds of beverages, and it's sometimes a little either intimidating or confusing to try to figure out those ratios yourself. So it's nice that they've added them in there here for you. We also are able to add in a bunch of other beverages, but I'm not gonna skip over these guys. We've got hot chocolate, babychino, and tea. So tea is going to just be hot water, of course. The babychino will just be at a lower temperature for steamed milk, and then the hot chocolate will just be steamed milk, but it's going to have one of the recipe cards. If we wanted to add other beverages, we can completely customize them, name them whatever we want. So it could be like Rebecca's Americano to my settings and ratios how I like them. So I can program the volume of my espresso as well as the volume of my hot water coming out of the machine too. The hot water spout located on this machine is just behind the group head, which is more similar to where you can find it on the Touch and Press, the Barista Touch, or the Barista Pro. Whereas the Oracle Touch and the Oracle had a little slide almost for the water and located in a slightly different spot. So it'll just come out at the back here. For the beverages that have hot water pre-programmed, like Americano, it'll automatically dispense. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we are going to make a latte. And then we're gonna talk a little bit more about the machine as well. So first step, I'm not making espresso. First step is to make a latte. We are, of course, using 1.21 Colombian espresso because I'm doing the video, so I get to choose the coffee. Now we have to put the portafilter up into the grinding chamber. So we're going to insert it starting at the left and pull it to the right. You'll see that the portafilter icon on the touchscreen here is now illuminated. And that means that we can now grind because it's inserted correctly. All the sensors are activated. Going to click go by clicking the icon. This machine does have barista guidance in it, which you can turn off if you'd like to. There's no way for you to get like an in-between with the barista guidance though. So you either have it on and it tells you what to do and how to fix the espresso, or you turn it off and it tells you nothing and you make all of the corrections yourself. So that's going to be more of a personal thing, but you have those two options there. This is now ground and tamped the espresso at the settings that we have it set to. So I believe we're on grind size number 21, and it is automatically dosing out for us and then tamping. Okay, so now we just need to take it out and we'll put the portafilter with our tamped espresso up into the group head. So when I pull this out, it's going to be perfectly tamped and flat. So we pull it out and it's perfectly tamped and flat. Beautiful, beautiful. No work for you. There are little propellers in here. It's kind of like an auger to tamp down the espresso and ensure that it's dosed correctly. So this goes up into the group head, starting with the handle at the left and pulling it all the way to the right, as far as it'll go. This one I find is less stiff in the group head gasket than some other machines when you first get it, which is really kind of cool. It sometimes is really hard to yank that portafilter over all the way to the right as far as it goes. It's really stiff. I'm going to throw my mug, my nice little double wall glass mug here underneath the portafilter spouts. And I'm also going to set up my milk to be ready to go, because this is not a dual boiler. Like I mentioned, it is a thermojet heating system. So it's very, very quick and efficient to heat. But it does mean that I can't brew and steam simultaneously. So what I need to do is put the milk into the jug, get the jug situated underneath the steaming wand, make sure that my settings are correct too, so that I have it set to the right foam amount, I have it set to the right temperature, and then it'll set it up in a sequence so that once my espresso is done brewing, the milk will automatically start going. So this pitcher goes underneath the steaming wand, up here. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to make some changes to the parameters for the milk. So I'm going to click on the little, I'm going to show you where I'm clicking too. The little bar that's underneath the milk pitcher, I'm going to click on that. The first selection and first thing that you can edit is the kind of milk you're using. We're using dairy milk, so I'm leaving it on dairy, but you do have other options like almond, soy, and oat. Next will be temperature. We're using our temperature in Fahrenheit, so we're at 150. I like that temperature. I am leaving it. The next one is going to be our foam amount. This is at 5. I am going to go down to 4 to see if I can get a little bit of latte art. Okay. I'm going to click on the parameters underneath the Espresso 2 just to show you a very interesting and useful feature of this machine. I don't know why, but when I found this out, I was very excited about it. It seems silly maybe. So you have single shot and you have double shot. We're always brewing a double here. You do you at home. If I click on custom though, I can adjust the size of my espresso, but oh wait, it just has dots. I don't know how big it's going to be. Don't worry, Breville has you covered. If you click the little eye, it's actually going to show you the volume of your single, double, and your lungo, so that if you're in the in-between of your single and your double, you know how big it's going to be. I really liked that. I don't like it when you don't know the volume of something that's being put out. And especially if you're going for a machine like this, you may not know a ton about espresso. This is definitely geared towards somebody that wants to be more hands-off, especially with the barista guidance, auto tamping, auto wand. It's almost a fully automatic espresso machine, but you just still look like you know what you're doing and are a little involved. Okay, so now we're going to brew our drink. So we're going to brew the espresso first, and then we're going to steam the milk. Well, the machine will steam the milk. We're not gonna do anything. It's very hands-off. I like doing it, but sometimes it's nice to do nothing. Going to click this, and then I'm going to click the milk pitcher. And you see how there is a little clock underneath it? That means it's set up for the sequence. All I need to do now is just stand here and wait for the espresso to pour, and then the milk will automatically start steaming. Beautiful, beautiful. One thing that's really great about this machine too, I feel like they updated the barista guidance a little bit, because instead of just telling you to go a little bit finer, to go a little coarser because the espresso was pouring, it actually will tell you a number or a range, which I find will be more helpful for people, especially if they're not overly comfortable or confident in their espresso brewing skills. So this espresso poured beautifully. 28 seconds for a double shot was perfect for me. You're not doing ratios here, so there's no 18 in, 36 out. This is going to be a volumetric and timed dosing for the espresso. That smells so amazing and balanced. And you can see the temperature start to climb and rise as the milk continues to heat. Again, it's going to be very accurate because the temperature reader is on the very tip of the steam wand, so it's going to be extremely accurate. I'm going to take a sip of this espresso to taste how well balanced it is, or if it's well balanced, I guess. Delicious, very sweet, very well developed. It doesn't taste under extracted or over extracted at all. It tastes very pleasant, which is what I would expect from this machine, but obviously have to try it. We do have a little heating tray up top as well. It's pretty passive, so as the machine is on, it'll continue to heat. One thing about this machine as well is it does not have an auto on function or an auto off to set. The machine will automatically turn off after 5 minutes of not using it. And you can't program it to come on at a certain time in the day. So that's most likely just because it takes like 3 seconds to heat up and uses the thermojet system, so it's very, very fast. Whereas with the Oracle and the Oracle Touch, you could program it to come on at a certain time. Those machines take a little bit longer to heat up. So it'll turn off after 5 minutes. You can't program it to come on at a certain time, but it takes 3 seconds to heat. So if it turns off, just press the power button and you're ready to go. Okay, our milk is done. So I'm going to lift this up, and the milk actually looks really good. I'm just gonna leave it to sit for a second. I've had kind of mixed results, if I'm being honest, with the foam quality from this machine. I do find that if you go above a level 4 on it, that it's not very like micro foamy, and it's very difficult for you to even try to get latte art. But this looks really good. This is barista quality milk. So we'll attempt some latte art, but I'm not making any promises. Ooh, nope, just too full. Okay, that's, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, the milk though, silky. The foam was not dense enough, I don't think, to do latte art. It's very thin. Really good foam for a latte, and it's very smooth, warm, sweet, what you would expect from hot steamed milk, of course. But it would have been maybe possibly okay for latte art if there wasn't some user error happening there, but it's a little too thin. I do find, like I mentioned though, if you go any higher, it starts to get a little too foamy, too bubbly. But very good. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this off to the side and we'll continue on looking through the machine. Okay, so let's do a little bit of cold brew. I am going to actually choose to do the cold espresso. I have had that, it was so delicious. I'm so excited to have it again, honestly. We need to first though, get rid of our used espresso. So I'm gonna just knock this out into the knock box. That comes with the machine, which is so sweet, because this is always something that you want to add on. So it comes with the new design one as well, the Knockbox 10. I personally think it's really cute. This machine also comes with a few other things, so some cleaning accessories, water filter. You get no dual wall baskets with this machine. You only have single wall baskets for double shot and single shot, which I personally really love that Breville has decided to do that and omit the dual wall baskets, because on a machine like this, you're not going to use them. So it's really, really great that they did that. It just ends up, I think people just end up losing them. So what's the point? Okay, select the drink we want, which is cold espresso. Ooh, there we go. And it is telling us to change our grind size to grind size number 19. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to turn the grind size down by turning it backwards. So I'm going to turn it back, and you'll watch the number on the screen change. See, it goes to 20, and it goes to 19 now. I am under the impression that they did some upgrades to the grinder so that it doesn't skip during the grinding process. I have seen it do it though, so I don't know if that technology is maybe perfected yet, but I know that it has been updated. It does feel like it's skipping a lot less than previous machines, but it does still happen occasionally. That's gonna happen though. Burrs are moving, and so if you have things moving through them, they might adjust slightly, which might trigger a different number on the machine. So don't be too concerned if that happens. Portafilter goes up into the grinding collar here. And then I'm going to click my portafilter, or I can tap my portafilter handle over to the right a little bit. And it's going to start to grind. Same, just a different way to do things. You might have one preference over the other. So the cold beverages on this machine, they brew in a really unique fashion. I was very impressed when I learned this. So instead of brewing hot or even just like kind of warm, it's going to brew room temperature. And it does that by bypassing the first thermojet heater, not heating up that water, and then coming into the group head and coming out. So you're not heating up the water to get ready to brew. This is going to take a while for it to extract. So I believe we're looking at about a minute 30 for the cold espresso, and our cold brew is going to be even longer than that. Then if you do it in a larger size, it's going to take even longer. But it does take a little longer to brew. So just keep that in mind when you're making your coffee in the morning. If you're choosing the cold, it's gonna take a little bit of time. Take the portafilter out. Oh, so beautifully tamped and not a mess on the countertop, love it. Up into the group head. The nice thing about a 58 is you are able to dose out a little bit more so you can get a bit of a bolder flavor. I do like 58 millimeter portafilters. I would say this would probably be compatible with a bottomless, although you may end up getting a bit of spraying with the bottomless because you do need to ensure that the distribution of the grinds in the portafilter is very, very good and that you don't have any pockets or channeling. And since you're not able to do any puck prep with this machine, if you're using it stock, then you might end up with a bit of spraying. I have my glass here with some little ice cubes in it. So I'm going to throw that underneath my portafilter spouts here. Now I'm going to, well, before I get ready to go, I'm going to just select my size. So I'm going to click on there, and then I'm going to go to custom. Now, I can't remember what this one is at, so it's a good thing that they have this little information button for me. Okay, so this says 2 ounces. I am going to keep it, I'm going to go up to 2.5, double plus, great. And now I will click brew. You'll notice as well, the little line that's going around the circle there below the icon is blue, meaning that we're extracting cold. Whereas on the hot beverages, it was red for extracting hot. It's a little small detail that these kind of details I think make the machine feel very complete. There was a lot of things that they really thought out with this machine, and everything down to, you know, the grooves up here that extend onto the little flap for your water tank, to the blue lime compared to the red. Little things like that, it just gives you a more holistic experience with the product. You can see here too, it's extracting for like a long time for one, but also pretty slowly, and it also looks pretty like mild, like it's pretty light. It is very tasty though. It tastes very sweet and well balanced. And I'm not a big iced coffee person myself, but it does a really freaking good job. Perfecto. Okay. Cheers. So it's like, it is cold. I can feel it, it's cold. And there's a little bit of crema on there, but not a ton. Great. Mild in flavor though, but really delicious. Like as a non-iced coffee drinker, I really like this. I don't know. I think I'm more and more becoming kind of an iced coffee person, possibly. But this is delicious, so. All right, so let's go back and look at this menu again. I'm going to go back to our main screen. All right, so we've gone through the beverage menu, but let's have a look at the settings menu as well. So to access that, you're just going to click the gear in the top right corner. And now we're going to go into where we can control a bunch of different parameters for the machine. So as opposed to it maybe being the product settings, this is more about the whole experience of the machine. So you can turn on and off the barista guidance. Ours is on. You can control your temperature settings. You can access your cleaning menu in here too. So cleaning the steam wand, cleaning the group head, descaling, water filter, a whole bunch of other stuff in here. And then you can also select your theme. So like I mentioned, we're in dark mode, but you can select light mode if you'd like to. I'm personally not a fan. we'll go back to that dark mode. We're gonna join the dark side again. Thank you very much. You can turn on and off your sound. The machine will make little chimes and jingles when it's completing something or when it's turning on, and it's very quiet. You almost miss it, but I think that the brain will starts to kind of register like, oh, there's this little jingle. My beverage is done, because you can walk away from this machine and just kind of have it made. You can increase or decrease the screen brightness as well as the light brightness. So you can see here, we're at 100%, but if I turned this down to 50, it's less illuminated. In a dark kitchen, this would make it feel very sophisticated. I really like that as an addition. You can set the time, date, and you can connect this machine to Wi-Fi for a very specific reason. This machine is going to allow you to actually have updates to the technology that's in the machine. So you're going to have software updates that will come up that you'll have to install, and that's why it's connected to Wi-Fi. When we got this machine and we turned it on for the first time, it immediately wanted us to do a software update, which is a really, really great idea, especially when you have an AI system like Barista Guidance, or you're changing things. You're gonna be able to have more updates and upgrades with this machine. It's going to be able to continue to evolve with you, whereas some of the previous machines that did have a touch screen from Breville, like the Barista Touch and the Touch Impress and the Oracle Touch, do not have that ability. So you're not able to do the software upgrades just from the screen here. So this machine obviously has a ton of upgrades, features, and really cool technology inside of it, but is it for you, and is it worth it for you to spend this money? Well, this is definitely for the person that doesn't want to do a ton of work at home to get cafe quality beverages and espresso, but wants to maybe have that type of feel and experience. This is a very robust feeling machine. It feels very high quality and well made. It feels like it's going to last, which is something that I really appreciate in a machine. This machine would also be really great for multiple users in the household. So a household where there's going to be a bunch of different people using the machine, because it's hands off. Like, it's almost a fully automatic. So all you need to do is listen to what the machine is telling you to do, and you're going to get good espresso because of the Barista Guidance. You also are able to program and save not only the beverages that are pre-programmed in the machine, but you're able to add on extras. So you have Joe and Sally at home, and both of them can have their favorite ways to do a latte. In true Breville fashion, you do have a little accessories tray just behind the drip tray. So we'll pull that drip tray out here. The drip tray does fill up very fast. I will say that. It fills up faster than some of their other models. I don't know whether it is just shallower or if there's something else going on. But underneath here, we've got our little accessories tray. So in here, we've kept our little brush, our single shot basket with our back flushing disc in there. We have a little brush, which is for the grinder, as well as a magnet so that you can pull out the auger like this. Very easy peasy. I really love that. See what I mean about the machine feeling kind of complete? I'll have to put that in a second. And then we've got some other accessories and tools in here. This is an updated design. It makes it easier to pull it out so it doesn't get lost in the back. I know that on my Breville, it has definitely gotten lost in the back there, way, way, way back. I've had to grab some tongs or something to pull it out. You'll also notice that we do have a little lever here. So on the Oracles, you do have some wheels on the machine. This one is no different. The difference though is that on the Oracle and the Oracle Touch from Breville, you have to remove the drip tray to access that lock and unlock to get the wheels moving. With this one, keep the drip tray in, it's just located on the bottom. Pull it over towards the left, and our machine even started moving already. But yes, now you're able to move it back and forth, easy peasy. I personally am really loving using this machine. I am so excited for it to get into the market and for people to use it and feel it, because it is really, really, really impressive. Breville definitely spent a lot of time upgrading it, taking care, and ensuring that the customers had a really good experience using the machine. It's very user-friendly. The quality of the beverage that it puts out is cafe quality. I've been very impressed with it. I haven't had any real issues with it at all. And the barista guidance does seem to be more accurate on this machine as it compared to the Barista Touch and Press, which I assume is probably part of that software update that they're able to integrate there. This machine, it is launching or is launched on September 27th, and you can find it on our website. If you are local to us and you want to see this machine in action, please pop on by and come and see this machine, because it is one you definitely do not want to miss. Again, price point is around $3,000 Canadian, and it's relatively large in size, so it's about yay high and about yay wide. So make sure that it fits on the countertop. It is smaller in footprint than the Oracles, but a little larger in footprint than the other Breville espresso machines on the market right now. It does have the updated design that we've seen in like the Barista Pro and the Touch and Press. So a little bit of a wider drip tray, which I like. It's more angular. I like the look and design of this machine. It's definitely coming up there as one of my favorites, which, as someone who enjoys the process of making espresso, was a little surprising for me, because I thought, maybe not for me, but yeah, maybe for me, honestly. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please leave any questions or comments down below and we will answer them for you. If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up and give us a follow. Make sure you subscribe to our channel as well. I think that's the same thing. And you can follow us on all of our social media channels as well, just right here. So stay tuned for more videos featuring the Oracle Jet, because we are so excited about this machine. There's gonna be a ton of content for you guys to watch. So we'll see you later. Cheers.